the weekend. Then next week we'll be back to our normal scheduled programming Monday through Friday at 10ish for the gym and the crypto. And of course, we have Black Rue here from Black Rue Investing. You see in the background, Dark Horse Water Watcher, .com. Black Rue, of course, has a show on our channel, two shows actually. Thursday, is it Thursdays now?
Wednesdays and
Wednesdays. I'll say we switched. I know we switched it. Yeah, Wednesdays and Saturday morning at 9 a.m. PST. So I want to ruin this one because he actually talks a lot about different altcoins and cryptocurrencies that aren't well known. And oftentimes, those are the ones where we're talking about community and chances for those to give you those returns that you're looking for. And when I say you, of course, I'm talking about myself and our own team, but that we look for. So we wanted to just kind of talk more about that today. And then if you're interested in it, of course, you can follow Black Rue and get into detail with it. So really quick, Rue, can you go ahead and introduce yourself and give a little bit about your background and then, of course, how you got into crypto and what makes you go after these projects and tokens that people often don't see? Like you talk about WEF tokens, we'll be talking about those today. What makes you see those? And yeah, how did you get into the space and how did you get into the niches that you're in?
sure. I've been in just like investing for like about 4 years now, and I have a show on Benzinga. And if you guys aren't familiar with Benzinga, they do like stock news, like for like TD Ameritrade, Webull, other people. They're a Detroit-based company, and I'm from Detroit, so that was pretty cool. Hook up there. But I moved into the crypto space when I saw like, okay, for like a good stock, even just like a just a little decent stock, you're gonna spend like $3 a share on stock. Whereas a good crypto, like kind of just tantamount to that $3 stock, you're gonna spend like 5 cents a coin on it. So it was more bang for my buck. So I moved into the crypto portion there. And the reason I look at like WEF stuff and things related to like WEF topics like CBDCs and metaverse is because they just have so much money behind them. They have like even like royal families behind them. So I look at that stuff because I know this is going to get pushed by big money bags, basically.
I love the fact that you did point out, and that's one of the things I also like about this market. Again, the autonomy, the barrier-less entry. I guess there's no barriers to entry here. But the same thing when we talk about these projects, I started looking at it the same way. When I got started in crypto in 2016 officially, I had a portfolio. Traditional portfolio. I think actually, what was it? It was with Fidelity. Funny enough, but I had a portfolio with them. They did a great job. Was it with, no, it was Franklin Templeton. I know it started with F. It was Franklin Templeton, but it was like a more aggressive one. They did a great job. It was like 24% a year or whatever. So it was
Nice.
pretty solid. But I wanted to do trading on my own. I always been interested in trading. I wanted to trade, and I was looking up like E-Trade accounts and all this different stuff. And they were like, yeah, if you do more than 10 trades a month, you have to have at least 25,000 in the account. There's all these rules and regulations. I'm like, wait, what? Like you tell me I need 25K just to be a trader? Like, no. What if I have 1,000 and I'm trying to flip that into 25? Sorry, everybody can't start with the 25K to be an official trader or whatever, right? So when I was looking into crypto, I'm like, same thing. Forget 1,000, and that's when I had the portfolio of like 30 projects. It's like these things are 5 cent here, 2 cent here, a penny here, less than a penny. So just the opportunity to flip everything, if you will, it was just it's a better spot in the crypto space. So I'm glad you pointed that out. That was pretty cool. All right, I want to give a couple of quick shout outs. What's going on to Nerd Up Incorporated? Infinite Blinks, it just clocked out. We're right on time. We can listen while you wait for your lift. There we go. Shout out to you. What's going on, Bitcoin Madam? And also, I want to give a quick shout out to iCoin Technology. Again, iCoin has sponsored this weekend and all of these shows that you see. So shout out to iCoin Technology. We're right now at icointechnology.com. You can get 50% off all their wallets and printer bundles. So we have a ton of those as well. And again, I have the few in front of me. I charged them up this weekend, and I will be updating these later and more than likely going live when I do it. So check out iCoin Technology. Some great wallets, coolest looking wallets out there. Of course, you can get those in the Verizon store also. And they've been partnering with Wiz Khalifa. So What I really like about them is that Verizon did their checks, and trust me, those checks were in depth, and they took months on months. As far as Wiz team as well, so a lot of people are starting to pay attention to these wallets. All right. With that being said, let's jump into it. 10x in crypto. Hold on, I'm trying to share this video on Twitter really quick.
Okay.
10x in crypto. Yeah, let's go ahead and start out. What are some of the tokens you have been looking at? And when you mention these tokens, before we get into the nitty gritty, we don't have to go crazy about price and stuff. We've been doing that last couple of nights. But when it comes to hold lengths, we like to say, hey, this is a short term hold, almost like a trade where maybe you're in and out of this thing within the next week. This might be a midterm, couple month thing, 6 to 8 week, 12 weeks, or this might be like a long term hold. And again, this is still short term. I'm still talking on a year, but a longer term hold where you're talking 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So if you can just kind of identify that to us as well, and why and where you see the value in some of your projects. So, what are some things you have been looking at?
Okay, so basically, I'm trying to get ready for the next bull run. Y'all all know Bitcoin halves in like 2024, sometime in March or May. So I'm getting ready for that. And usually it takes like a couple months after the halving for everything to get bullish. But in the most near term, I'm looking at CBDCs because in 2023, mid 2023, Fed Now, and you can find them on Twitter. Fed Now is a little service that the Federal Reserve is pushing out to do instant payments. And they know we kind of like hate the word CBDCs, so they moved from saying CBDCs in some cases to saying instant payments. So they're doing instant payments with a crypto called Cyperion, and that's CPH if you're looking for it on CoinMarketCap. Um, and they're going to be like kind of like an in between for these crypto payments. And so Cyperium is they're going to be an in between for the Fed now and these crypto payments, and the CBDCs are going to start intra central bank digital currencies. So Cyperium will probably have a nice little flow of monies going in between them, being a servicer for Fed now. And yeah, so basically, I'm looking at everything having to do with central bank digital currencies, and I'm looking for it to kind of pop off in 2023. Now, Cyperium is
Okay.
not the only one. Another one is like a Quant, and also XRP. And if you guys aren't familiar with XRP, XRP just became a member of the World Economic Forum. So I'm kind of expecting that SEC case to be behind them pretty soon after this.
So, a few things to unpack there. First, when it comes to these CBDCs, you don't think they'll almost be working as I kind of envision CBDCs like stable coins, where it's going to be a dollar to dollar type of parity. You think there might be a chance for them to actually grow in value? Because why would people be looking at them as far as something they want for an ROI or a 10x? Whereas to me, this is like there again, it's going to be looked at as a dollar unless you're looking at a different perspective. So, what are your thoughts?
I think some of the cryptos that are they're gonna flow through. It's just gonna get a lot of money going through them. So I'm looking for them to just pump on that off of the money flowing through them.
Oh,
And
okay, I
some,
get what you're saying. So you're
yeah,
saying, my okay, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you're saying that hey,
no,
even if they do this, they Fed now CBDC, we're paying attention to the ancillary services, platforms, and cryptocurrencies that actually make that CBDC have its lifeblood, whether it's storefronts or payment structures. Okay, I get what you're saying, and then that's where Cipher, Ethereum, and Quant you mentioned comes into play.
yes, yes,
Okay,
100%.
and
So
how to spell Quant? How to spell that one? Is
Q
it QUU?
QUANT. No,
Oh,
Q
the Q and T.
QUANT. Yeah, quant.
Right, the Q and T quant. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know quant. I know this quant. All right. I didn't understand that's how it fit into the entire okay. That makes a lot more sense now. You cleared up a lot for me in quant right now is at $175. All right, that cleared up a lot. I have had quant on the radar for a while. I haven't done like a deep dive on it though, clearly. But that makes a lot more sense. Okay, so pardon me again. Go ahead.
So so Quant, while we have it up, it's they have this technology called Overledger, which technically they say they want to be kind of like operating system for all the CBDC currency cryptos. Quant is another one of those cryptos that's like a ISO 20022 crypto. And basically, the whole breakdown of that regulation is that it can be used for remittances like a SWIFT. Um, and there are a whole bunch of different cryptos that have, well, not a whole bunch. There's about like 8 cryptos that have that, and I expect them all to be involved with CBDCs. It's Hedera, Quant, Algorand, XRP, XDC, IOTA, and there might be one other one that I'm missing there. Stellar. So
So, or go
go
ahead.
ahead. So
No,
all
no,
of those are
I
going to
was
be.
awesome. I'll go after you.
Go ahead. Okay, so all of those I think will be involved in the CBDC plan. I have videos on all of those, like, or I think I have videos on all of those except for IOTA, um, and all of them you can kind of see. There's different news articles out there where they're like Central Bank of Switzerland is testing out CBDCs. This bank is testing out CBDCs, and all of them are kind of involved with the WEF too. If you like trace it all back.
So, what was the other? It was a smaller cap coin, not Algorand. You mentioned it around the same time. Not Stellar. Also, what other project you mention?
XDC,
No, not XDC,
Ripple,
not Ripple. Either
Algorand,
Algorand, Stellar, Ripple, XDC. What else did you mention? I know
um,
IOTA already. What else? Because I was gonna pull up the charts. Forgot what the project
okay,
was you said.
let me go grab that ISO list right quick, and I'll just read them all.
Okay, cool. All good. So one of the things in general, though, I'll go to well, a couple things I was gonna say. In general, I get where you're going from that point of view, and it does make sense. I do not think, again, this would be world changing projects that would stay. If anything, some will consolidate. So I want to start off by saying that. But we're just talking 10x here. I'm with you on some of those when it comes to a 10x. I would say also, I believe these are more mid to long holds because, like we said, the next happening. So these are 10x's that will take a year and a half to actually happen, which is actually a good thing because especially if
Yep.
you're looking at the lower cap ones, when you dollar cost average, shout out to Naja Roberts on her KBLA show I was on the other day. $6 a day is what she does. So if you're just dollar cost averaging, folks, what I could personally do, or what we do in our team, Jim and the Crypto and Digital Assets Group, is say that this is a part of an ecosystem. It's almost like the Ethereum competitor effect. When you look at Cardano, Solana, and how Matic and all these things and how they pump based on or not what Ethereum is doing, it's the same thing. As these CBDCs progress, which they will, all these ancillary networks that are supposed to work in conjunction with them or help them. Again, most of them are going to fail, but during the hype stage, as the money's pouring in, they are going to pump like crazy. So, uh, at these times when no one's paying attention to them, this is when you actually start to dollar cost average in. So you're not losing any money. It's not hurting. That's your $2 coffee a day or whatever.
Yep.
Two 250 over here in LA, but that's how you get that going there. Did you figure out what that other one was? I wanted to bring up that chart.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
H bar. Was it H
H
bar?
bar, H bar. It was H bar. Okay. Hedera. Okay. So a couple things. IOTA. We used to be high on IOTA way back in the day. I'm seeing if I can actually bring up this video, see what date this was. This is such an old video. I could look at the comments, see. We were high on IOTA back in the day, but the project I believe was just so grand that they may have bitten off more than they can chew. It seemed like they had great intentions, but that was back in the day on best altcoins we buy. So over 5 years ago, I'm trying to see the date. So July 26, 2017. So that's kind of when IOTA was coming out, and that's when we didn't even know how to use the lights yet. But we used to be
Yeah.
really high on IOTA. We liked it. I was a personal fan favorite of it because I do see the applications of things like that once smart technology advances. Where it comes to my dream is to have like the smart fridge where your milk is a quarter. I'm looking at my fridge now. It's like your milk's a quarter of the way down, and it already knows to put in an order to Amazon or wherever to order you more milk to have it delivered and to pay for it with a crypto account, right? Like that's where I thought IOTA was gonna go with it. So because of that stalled growth for me personally, I want to put them in there. I would kind of really have to take a deeper dive in their project and see when different releases were. And it would have to be only working products at this point. They've been around for too long not to have it. Same for Algorand in a sense. But to pull up a couple of these charts, and again, shout out to everybody who's watching. Shout out to iCoin Technology. If you're looking for a hardware wallet, that's the place to get it. Algorand chart, here it is, 31 cents. So when again, I like these projects. I like where you're going with these projects. This would be one that you could kind of consider. So I'm with you on that. When did this come out? 2019. 2019, baby. All right. And yeah, it hasn't even reached its all-time high again. Let's
Yeah,
see.
and
And
I have a video on that one. Algorand's the one that looks most promising to me because they just did a thing where they have 6,000 TPS, which is faster than like really most cryptos or any crypto that you can like think of right now. Um, Solana says they technically can be faster than that, but mostly during the day they're like 4,000 TPS. So it's faster than any of them. They also tested some CBDCs in the Marshall Islands. Um, and they also have, they say that they're quantum hackable proof through some technology they call Falcon or something like that.
mm,
So that seems like to be to me, if you want the speed for DeFi or the speed for a CBDC, then Algorand could provide that for you.
I will say I like that it was launched in 2019, in June of 2019, because they launched in the middle of a bear market. So they're like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and do this. So I do like that. And again, that's just me and my weird nature of looking at projects. My luck charm, my lucky rabbit's foot. When I think like that. Let me get up to this developer portal, and that's what I was going to ask. So I always want to know what projects, platforms, and all that actually have working products, working projects, things you can interact um, or actually use. So with that being said, have you done anything using Algorand?
Yes, well, I always when I trade crypto with people, it's like the fastest one for me to use. Like it's I swear it gets done in like 30 seconds to like a minute if I'm sending
So you actually do use it. Okay, good
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and then
Uh,
they do have a project on there called Opulus, which is like where you can buy like someone's masters. Like it's part of the whole like tokenization thing that people are trying to get done with like NFTs and stuff like that. And it's just like a further advancement of NFTs. And they had who was it? Little Pump on there, and Little Pump
okay, I'm
sold
seeing that.
part of his part of his masters. There's another company, not okay. There it is. So other people kind of got wind of it, and there's this company called Royal that where Nas actually sold half of his royalties to one of his songs. But yeah, this to me is like the biggest project on Algorand right now. But they got their DeFi up and running, and if you bring up this site called DeFi Llama, you can see like you can see that they're steadily increasing in DeFi value, and they're getting pretty big with it. I think they're top 15 on DeFi Llama. If you go to like the chains, and I think you scroll down, I think they're like number. They're somewhere around like eight. There we go.
14.
Yep. And if you click in the Algorand there, you'll see like it's steady increasing. So that to
I
me, that
like. Oh, I get. What you, oh, wow. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And see, wow. Shout out to Black Rue. That's the gem that was not only specific projects, which we were about to continue to talk about, but DeFi Llama.com. This is something we'll have to do some more videos on, go in depth on. But this is a different chart to look at. The chart things differently. This is what we mean by price doesn't always equate to value, because
yeah,
this is a valuable chart right here. This is a nice proof of concept from its inception. Again, bear market, dead 21, and got the same pump. But again, what we've been saying about those last projects from yesterday, the last couple of nights, the Degen's life at crypto after dark, is that when they're returning to that original price point when they first launched, or return to that original volume. Remember, we were checking out that 24-hour volume. It will go back down after these peaks. Then you could essentially say, hey, that project didn't have legs to stand on its own. But to see this to be the continuing TVL to this, especially where the market's at right now, is pretty impressive for sure.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
let me stop talking too good about them before I call them up for the sponsorship. Like, what do you mean? I already gave you. I'm like, I already gave you a free one. Now, hold on now.
Right.
So, and this is why I don't do too much stuff, in front of the paywall, because it's just like it's almost like a freebie, and it's not really a strong. It's not a real cosign as much as it is what we do over here. What we're looking at. So, I like Algorand again. That was 31 cents, and the second one I want to look at was Hedera Hash Graph. We actually told our warriors about Hedera a while back ago, and I think we caught some pumps off it. But Hedera itself, again, to be honest, I don't think it's going to be world changing. But what I do like about it is our the partners behind it. So for those who don't
Yes.
know, Hedera was like the cool kid on the block, and for me, it's one of those things where even if it's fake, and I don't mean like fake as in like just straight up with guys, but like just maybe the wrong choice of words. Even if it doesn't do anything, it just turns into another basic project or whatever. The powers that be behind it and the marketing that probably go into it, I think will still make sure the people who are looking at this project early on have some type of way to get some value, to extract value from it. So you can see here Google, IBM, Boeing, Chainlink Labs, LG. Deutsche Telekom, Ubisoft, Tata Communications, Standard Bank. So a lot of big companies and popular companies uh, have done something with it. They're owned and governed by the world's leading organizations, or at least that's what they say, right? So, yeah, I mean, just the fact that you have this marketing push that's definitely going to happen at some point with it is always interesting to me. And then, of course, just looking at it from a raw price point perspective, and this is nothing more than us taking this quick glance at it, is at 6 cents right now. And let's see, let's go to all-time chart. Yep, it's back to almost back to its original 3 to 4 cent. Had a couple of peaks around the same time as everything else, and fell off around the same time as everything else as well. But what do you like about Hedera Hash Graph? Again, I put I said the basic, you know, long nails and lashes. All right, this is what you saw. I just said the basic stuff. Now let's get into it. Who is this person? Um, what do you like about Hedera?
I like that they have like they're so corporate. I know this is what Charles Hoskinson hates about them, that they just like they're so corporate, but in being so corporate, they got their teeth deep into CBDCs and tokenizing stuff, and like they might even be involved in carbon credits, which I vehemently just hate. I hope
Right. I'm not a fan of that at all. But yeah.
I hope that never gets applied to like just normal people. But yeah, they're so deep in all of that stuff. And you just saw a who's who of people on their list, like T-Mobile, Google, IBM, like Boeing, all the companies that are like one would call quote unquote too big to fail. That's what I really like about them, and they're partnered with another coin I talk about a lot, which is LCX, and you know LCX is a literal member of the World Economic Forum, so they're in with all the people who would probably have a say on CBDCs, which is why I like them. And they finally, if you go back to that DeFi Llama site, they finally got their DeFi up and running. So, so yeah, that's why I'm pretty high on Adira. They're working with South Korea on their stable coin one, um, and they're working on CBDCs with Shinhan Bank, and yeah, so that's why I'm kind of pretty high on Adara, and that it really never reached its peak in the last bull run either, because they never had their DeFi up and running. But now that they finally got it up and running, I'm thinking they're one to look out for.
Oh, see, that's a great point. I like what you mentioned. And I agree with you. The last bull run, like the people who knew because like I was in Hedera and stuff, and yeah, the good things from Hedera. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not crapping on the project, but I am with you. I thought it would do even bigger, but I didn't see the marketing play happen. And kind of what you said, I said in a more rudimentary way where it's just like, uh, the corporate powers that are playing with. That's why I like it too. Is the corporations behind it? To be honest, like, and again, that's not the ethos of this space, but that's not what I'm looking for every project, especially when we're talking about crypto. It's not Bitcoin, it's crypto. Very big difference, folks. So, um, yeah, I thought they didn't reach their full potential either because there were some moments I was like, they're not marketing right now. They're not capitalizing on this, whatever. And for them not to do that, yeah, I didn't know they had things planned out, but it makes sense if they're going to be planning for this next bull market. Like you said, they have DeFi now, and they maybe unroll a couple more platforms. Then yeah, that would be a huge pump for the next one. So another one to look out for. So I'm getting some in the chat. Just hot what does they call it? The hot round, hot seat. I don't know. Round robin. What are your thoughts on a couple of these? I thought you said you already mentioned ISO, right?
The ISO cryptos, yeah.
Okay. Crow. What do you think about Crow?
Man, I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be fine because they have a lot of big corporate people behind them as well. I think they're going to be fine. But as far as like ones that I'm looking at right now, it's just like WEF ones, CBDC ones, and Metaverse ones. And part of that has to do
Yeah.
with that the WEF is pushing those topics hard. I'm also looking a little bit at climate change cryptos, even though I don't necessarily believe in climate change, but I know that they're going to put it. I know that they're going to push it.
I I would say so. First, when it comes to Crow, I think they kind of fumbled the bag on it. They just the rollout. It was a weird. It was a weird rollout. It felt I won't say it was rushed because they did roll it out with proper timing and all this different stuff, but it felt rushed. Excuse me. I'm not saying it was rushed, but it felt rushed. And I don't know. It was just it felt like a saturated market. And it was just another token. I think the rollout was bad. I get it. They do have, the corporate ties and everything as well, but I think they actually might be in some trouble because I'm just like, for what? Why use it? Like, it's just, I don't know. Unless, of course, everyone really starts using their website and everything. And just because you're popular and you have a lot of money right now doesn't mean everybody's actually using it. Take note, Coinbase. Like Coinbase was worth $100 billion and this and the most users monthly 100,000. Yeah, but how many people are actually staying on the platform and using it, so on and so forth. So I think we might see the same thing with that. Now, um, the second you had just mentioned one other thing too. I wanted to piggyback on. It was a great point you were making. Let me see if I can find it. I pull up tabs as you speak so I can have the visuals to go with it, but I almost lost it. Shout out to the chat. I see everybody in the chat. Glad to see you all can join. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Um, let's see. Did you mention another project? Is that what it
I
was?
mentioned a few, man. You
I
mentioned,
know. I know.
yeah,
That's what.
I mentioned Quant, H bar. Let me see what else I want to say.
No, 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 no. Not the list. Just now in your last statement. I thought you had mentioned just one just now.
I might have. I don't know.
Right? Listen. Hey, I hope you all are taking notes. We're gonna have to go back and watch this ourselves.
Right.
Seller Network. Have you heard of Seller Network? I'm not familiar with Seller.
I have. It's another one of those did like layer two type Ethereum networks. Um,
Uh,
it's all right, but I think I feel a little bit better about like one like Clayton. Um, um, I did a video on Clayton like 2 days ago, and it popped up 30% today. I ain't planned it that way, but that's just how it went. Um,
yeah.
Clayton, I really believe in them because like they're really heavy in South Korea, and one of the guys I was talking to after I did the video, he's like, "Hey, I'm from South Korea. Like Clayton runs everything around here because they're built by this company called Cacao or something like that, and Cacao like basically runs most of South Korea's like commerce and stuff like that. Like he's like they blew up the data center and nobody could talk to anybody for 2 weeks. I was like, dang, okay. So Cacao, okay, great. And if you go to DeFi Llama, Clayton was one of those cryptos that actually had 1 billion locked up in it in the DeFi before everything went down with the bear market. So I'm thinking that we probably see it have 1 billion locked up in it again. I think it's like number 13 on the list, Clayton.
Okay, I was about to type it in. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I see that big drop. Wow. And what does it do again? What's Clayton doing?
It's another one of those scalable ones. It's like a fork of Ethereum that they
Okay.
they did a little bit of improvements on. They say they can do 4,000 TPS, but really, like with congestion, it's more like 1 or 2,000 TPS, which isn't bad. But they got some of the same partners Hedera has, in that they have LG as a partner. They have Binance as a partner on their governance board. And one other person that I'm forgetting, but you guys can check out the video. It's in the video. So checking them out. It seems like they want to kind of focus on the metaverse more than anything, but supposedly they have a deal with Samsung where they have like a Samsung phone. So I got to do a little follow up video with that, but I like it that they're like pretty much running South Korea. So yeah.
Yeah, you gotta check that out. And you know what? I was seeing Seller Network, and I see what they're saying too, as far as the offshoot. Um, and here's the thing: I'm with you as far as Clayton as well. It's almost, I look at this, it's funny, I look at it as like racehorses. People, it's almost like it's racehorses. And you have to do due diligence on the racehorse. You know, who's the trainer? Has it been getting stretched properly? Has it been exercising? Like, has it been injected with anything? What's been fed? So our racehorses in this case are these different crypto projects and platforms. So you have to go in there. Do they have a working product yet? You know, can I use the product? You know, have I done transactions on these things, on these different layers and all that good stuff? Who's the developers behind it, right? What projects have they done? That would start to unfold. But regardless, the good thing again, especially if your dollar cost averaging in a few of them. I didn't look at Clayton. Let me check out what's Clayton's price point today. Let's see. Let's see. Clayton price is 18 cents. So when we're talking about 10x, again, for me, you know, I like to look at community, but looking at some of these projects, if they have a community to match and a working product, again, I'm not saying they're taking anything over, but when a bull cycle hits, that is enough for someone to come around and try to pump it. But yeah, it has the same type of chart as we've seen many times, which is probably around March, April. Yep. So that's at the Terra. Woo, Terra cleaned that market out,
Yep.
cleared it out. That's crazy. And shout out to Josh who made on our show the other day. He's been in Bitcoin and crypto since 2010, and he's working on a stable coin in the space. But he mentioned that, you know, he saw Terra early on and called it as well. But I mean, you talking about wiping the market out. It's almost one of those things where it's healthy and it's good for the market though, because you know everything that couldn't really stand. it goes away. Unfortunately, some of the projects that probably could have stood that just need a few more months might go away, which is unfortunate. But some of the ones that shouldn't be here leave. What was also interesting during those times is looking at the technology. Bitcoin still works, or at least we have to talk about tomorrow what happened last week as far as the network. But the network still work, Bitcoin still work as many other cryptocurrencies do. So the technology is there. We're still just in this crazy space where people don't want to use it for some reason. I still don't get it. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin at this point. Why do people use fiat currency? You don't even need it. You can use your cell phone and whatever you have on you. Your favorite crypto.com. In fact, everybody get a crypto name after them. And then see, because it's not even about the crypto anymore. It's really about the blockchain. It's always been about the blockchain. Matter of fact, so it's just about what blockchain is on. You have your crypto name after you, almost like an Ethereum name address, and then boom, that's it. Everybody got their own crypto. You keep your money in your own name, and your values based on you. You think a Jeff Bezos crypto would be worth a lot if you're going to use it on Amazon, vice versa. If you ain't worth nothing, if you're out here going to sleep sideways somewhere, then yeah, maybe your crypto isn't worth that much. Maybe it take a lot of that to get you somewhere. Let's see. One Bitcoin, still one Bitcoin. You know it. So I like some of these Hedera. Again, I like Hedera because that was like what 6-8 cent or something. Algorand 31 cent. Clayton is 16 cent. Um, that's what I like about some of these projects, especially when you're talking about a 10x, because those market caps would not need to increase. Yeah, see, this is 500 million. It's still a lot, but a lot of these projects have billions of dollars in their market cap left and right. So, um, yeah, I like the chances on some of these smaller cap ones, especially when you're talking about, this is just a small portion of your portfolio. This isn't where you store the brunt of everything at. What other thoughts do you have out there on some of this stuff?
Like going back to the ones that are kind of related to CBDCs and ISO 20022 cryptos, XRP. Um, Seems like I saw, and it's in one of my videos, they had a deal with Travelex Bank to do like remission payments in Brazil. And the whole like remission payment market in Brazil was worth like um, I think it was like 780 million monthly. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So, so they're doing that, and they got the approval from the Central Bank of Brazil to do that. So to me, that's like, okay, you just a hop and a skip and a jump away from CBDCs in Brazil if you're already doing the remittance payments instantly with Travelex Bank. So that's one of the things I was looking at with XRP. And then when also I saw that they became a official member of the World Economic Forum, I'm like, okay, that SEC case is just done now. You got all the people you need to just make sure that that goes away. You quote unquote maybe bent the knee, but hey, it's gonna make everything go away. Everything's gonna be good. So, and I know there's
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I know there's always that rumor out there that it's going to be backed up by gold. I don't know if that's true or not. That's hearsay, but something to pay attention to.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, I think that's hearsay also. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say when it comes, okay, so I have XRP pulled up. And again, this is like it's funny because I said this. So when we started going live in 2017, XRP were one of the earlier projects we covered. And even back then, I was like 2 to 4, 3 to 5 years. So 2017, 2020, that's about right now. I was like, I just don't see it being here because of the push of CBDCs at the time. Of course, we know that would be the buzzword, but of the push of the government creating the same type of monetary transaction system they were creating, banks, governments, blah blah. Now, um, I'll say this: I think that in places like the United States, they would never, even after the SEC investigation, they would never really fly because the United States would just develop something and use it. But I do see the value of it in other countries because I can see other countries. especially smaller ones who do want to use these systems, or who have no choice but to use these systems. Let's say the United States has a system, but a smaller country doesn't have the networking power or the technology to keep up with the United States system. So maybe they use XRP in lieu of it, and they know XRP can reach the US system. Like it'll kind of work like that, right? Where you're hopping blockchains and different stuff. But I do see the value of different countries and companies saying, "Hey, we just want XRP to hook this up for us. It works, whatever. We know it's similar." So I can see that happening. My only thing is just from a raw price point is that's all time high. I mean, it's $3. And I say only now because it's at 46 cents, but his all time high was $3.10 or whatever. Um, and again, I say only because where it's at now, but it came from 0.006 cent. I remember these days, 2016, less than a penny, Kraken.com, or Kraken, whatever. You could be on Kraken and you can margin trade Ripple. Like, so it had a crazy pump. It's had a crazy pump, not once but twice. That less than a penny all the way up to 35 cents to begin with, and then that 35 cent up to the $3. So my point is, right now, in what time frame and how long could it take for if we were to actually look at this project and put capital behind it for us to get anything back? What we're going to get back? I think right now, even if the SEC case was dropped and they announced something, a big partnership, I'm looking at 220, 280 if we go crazy, right? Let's go even crazier, 340, versus what? Now I will say shout out to XRP, because for it to maintain this price point for this long, it's still going sideways at 46 cents. I think that's still a pretty high price point. But I don't know. What are your thoughts with all that?
I have some of those. I have some of those same thoughts. It was chilling at about 33 cents, and then here in August, when they announced the whole World Economic Forum thing, it went up to like 50 cents because people was like speculating, okay, maybe this might end. But I think it's kind of going to be like you said, King. Like, okay, certain people are going to use these CBDCs in certain small countries or smaller countries than the U.S., like Brazil, and but there's still going to be that pocket too of people that's going to be like, okay, you connected to the central bank. I'm not going to use you because you're connected with the central bank type of people. I'll use something else instead. But I think a lot of these different ones, like Hedera's getting connected in South Korea, XRP in Brazil, Cyperium is doing something with Fed now. Like I think all of these different little crypto chains are going to get their CBDC stuff connected, and each one of them are going to prosper from having that money flow through their blockchain. The only thing that can be kind of scary is that the CBDCs could be programmable. So imagine something like where they say like, okay, um, King, you went on a trip this month. You out of carbon credits, so we're gonna make your money not work. Even though you got enough money to buy gas, you can't buy gas because you use too much carbon this month. Like I hope it doesn't ever get to that point, but they're saying that CBDCs are going to be programmable, that they're going to expire, and that's a whole another type of conversation. But it's something to think about.
Yeah, I will say with that, I the carbon thing, it's we forget it's bad guys out there. There's too many people stealing energy. They don't want nobody to know. But no, I think the carbon thing might be a fad. The same way we saw as Potcoin and all these different crypto coins that were popular in 2016, 2017. I think the carbon thing might be a fad the exact same, where we have this year and a half, 2 year thing of just carbon credit coin, carbon, and maybe we even get some movement. But man, like I don't know on that one, but we'll see, of course, on that. I will say, to go back to that XRP thing really quick, I wanted to point out that again, we're saying this because the topic for today were 10x's. While I don't think that would fit in the 10x portfolio, I will say this: XRP, if the SEC was going to win the lawsuit, they would have won it, right? They were already pressed. So clearly, and people already said it was other political and financial motivations behind that. And there's all types of talk underground as far as, hey, XRP was just on the wrong side that day. Like, it is what it is. They picked the wrong racehorse. So And it is looking more like that, especially when you talk about WEF. And then Stellar, of course, stays in the news. They have all types of partnerships with governments and so on and so forth. I say all that to say, while it might not be a 10x, I did say, hey, it was going to go back to 220, 280. I can see that happening in the shorter term. I can see that happening before the happening. But worst case scenario, even if it gets to the happening, I can see that happening. So, yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I was at 46 cents right now. And you say 220, that's still better than the savings account.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's still better than the savings account. And right now, as far as movement, they have been moving sideways. So again, everybody's volatility or levels of what they consider volatility are different. Everyone has a different appetite for aggressiveness and passivity. But for people who are already in this space and are kind of used to it, if you are saying, "Oh, okay, well, I parked some capital again in a savings account, or where I parked this in XRP," super risky to be XRP. So maybe savings account the wrong number. My beer money, but I would say XRP wouldn't be bad for that. Just know that you're not going to get the 10x on it. I don't think in the short to mid term, but hey, you might get the 3x.
Right.
Definitely, right? You might get the 3 to 4x. And why not? You know, a couple $1,000 just sitting there, rainy day fun, and then you look back and boom, you know, you got eight all of a sudden. So definitely something to consider. But with that being said, we're kind of wrapping up on time. Man, this has been pretty good. Like a lot of good projects the last few days. I like these projects we talked about today. What I like most is because they're low cap. So we will continue these conversations again. Black Rue, Ruel does have some additional videos of his on his channels, and he goes through them on our channel as well. And then, of course, we'll also be promoting more masterclass, in-depth coaching classes that will feature things like this, where we're going to talk more about these projects and actually invest in them, or I want to say invest, we will actually become stakeholders of some of these projects, long term, mid term, and watch it throughout its inception. The same way we kind of did with a few other ones the past couple of years. All right, last few comments. Somebody said, better understanding said, beer money. Hell yeah, you're a veteran. I am. You know it for sure, for sure. Let's see. Bitcoin already defeated that enemy. You already know it. What's going on, Courtney Johnson? Peace to you as well. Relaxing serenity sounds. Hello, hello. And for everyone who participated in the conversation, thanks. And then for those who are watching after, let us know in the comment section what crypto do you think has a 10x, and of course, add the time frame to it. Is it the midterm, long term, or short hold? We love to see it and take a peek ourselves. So with that being said, smash that like and share. Black Root, check us out. You got anything for us?
Yeah. One little thing, since you brought up Stellar, they're working on a CBDC with the Ukraine. Like, it's like even during the war, they're saying it's going on time. It's on time despite the war. So
Oh, well, that might be the play.
yeah, that definitely might be the play. And then Stellar also has a deal in place with MoneyGram. So I just wanted to throw that in since King brought it up. If you're looking for a 10x, that may be one besides the one Cyperium that we mentioned in the beginning. And yeah, guys, you can find me at darkhorsewatcher.com. It's right up above here. And yeah, this has been fun, real fun.
Really quick, I would say this: the only thing that scares me about, it's not necessarily scares me. What throws me off about Stellar and some of these projects like that, I don't know if it's like that guilty. I don't know what the word is. It's like when you feel guilty about something already. Like, oh man, like, well, long story short, is just like for things like Stellar, since I already had that early pump, look at this pump back in the day from 2016, 2017, or whatever. So since I already saw that early pump, it just doesn't feel right again. Like, how
Yeah.
much more is left in it? When the reality is like you said, like, no, man, this thing is early. I'm like, is it still early? And it's like, so I'm feeling like the old man when it comes to Stellar and stuff because I have been following that project for so long. I've been in the pumps, I've been in a couple of dumps on it too, but I've definitely seen the greener pastures of Stellar just from a financial standpoint. So now when it comes back to looking at 10x, sometimes it tricks my own brain because it's like, I don't know if it's 10, 11. It's like, no, no, bro, this is super early. Like, it's not even, this is 10 cents, it's 11 cents. So I'm with you. They're actually doing a lot of work. Um, and kudos to them. They know how to market very well. So regardless of the work they're even doing, they'll find their way on the main stage. And you better believe after the next, and this is that fundamental stuff, seriously, after the next Bitcoin happening, there's going to be another congressional, senatorial, or something. It's going to be one of those debates. Stellar got on there last time. You don't think they're going to find their way in the room again this time?
Yeah.
No, they'll definitely be invited back. So when that happens again in 2024, 2025, question is, will it still be at 11 cent if they have uh, project improvements and they've actually been releasing things and making, the necessary changes. So if they're doing their job, of course, we got to check out that roadmap. I'm with you on that. That looks like an actual promising because that's actually a good 10x. That's not like a far-fetched 10x for them, especially with the community they have to go from 11 cent to a dollar and some change. That's not crazy. So I actually, that's a good one to look at as well. All right. Other than that, Courtney Johnson said banks use Ripple, not XRP. Yes, true. Stellar Odie but goodie. See, that's what I'm saying, man. You've been around. It's like Stellar is like but yeah, Odie but goodie. All right. Other than that, smash that like and share. Black Ruel, thank you for joining. We truly appreciate it. And until